the first coaching video that will be uploaded to the channel. I'm joined here by Khadgar, aka Lunar Wolf, and they want to reach their next rank, Diamond or Masters. So Khadgar, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Khadgar. I'm 36 years old. I've never played any other card games. Definitely not on a professional way. Just for fun, a bit of Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm playing lore since beta. I had a longer break, like 4 or 5 months. So I'm still trying to collect my champions I'm missing, and it's a lot. Yeah, and now I'm sweating through matches, through my ladder matches, trying to climb with mediocre success. Sometimes it's fine. I have a lot of wins, and sometimes it's horrible. So yeah, and now I hope with the help of Conan, I will get to Masters tomorrow.
Let's hope we can make this work. And you said before you generally like control decks more. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
As I told you already, I think I'm not good enough to play proactive. So reactive playing is what I prefer. I like to react to the moves, to the plays of my opponent. And control is perfect for this. And yeah, so I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, but in the current meta, there is not really a very good control deck. Like viable decks like
right.
Ramp and stuff and Feel the Rush. We decided to play some Taliyah Ziggs today, and we will take a quick look at the deck lists. Okay, so here we are on the Mastering Terra metagame data, and we see Taliyah Ziggs being on the 10th place, having good matchups against Sandisk and Ezreal Caitlyn, losing a little bit to Riven Victor, and also losing to Teemo Caitlyn, but having a good strong matchups versus most of the field. And we also have the two deck lists here. The left one is the one that Khadgar is currently using, and the right one is one I randomly grabbed from the mastering from the leaderboard, basically from a 400 LP Masters player. The most notable differences right now are the Minefield as a 1-off versus a 3-off, and the Amagus 2, Arsenal 1. I think this one is more close. And then the spells are a really big difference. We have on the one side triple quicksand on Khadgar's list, and the double pokey stick right after Arcane Unleashed Energy on the Masters list. So a little bit more like triple quicksand is definitely trying to counter Riven Victor, while the Masters list is probably more focused on killing the opponent very fast with extra burst damage from Unleashed Energy, and the pokey stick for more utility and more consistency. So how was the quicksand so far for you, Khadgar? Did you like it, or do you feel like it's necessary in your deck?
Yes, 100%. I think it helped me a lot in a lot of matches, especially against Riven Victor, where they tried to kill me with their combo. I was able to stop their elusive keyword, and kill them because their health doesn't jump up when they boost their units. It also helped me against a lot of other matchups like Pantheon, other Taliyah 6 matches. So I had a feeling almost in every match it was very useful, and I think it's a really, really strong card at the moment. Maybe one of the best spells for Shurima. But yeah, I can't say much about this because I'm not good enough
No,
to
it's fine.
say this.
Like you have played the
But
deck.
yeah,
Nice. You have played the deck a lot, so you definitely have fewer experiences. I'm kind of afraid that it is some like dead in some matchups. If you play against Mono Shurima, for example, you're not really disabling that many keywords. But this is like what you can do if you want to get better. You have to look at your list and at other professional lists and basically think about which cards are always in the deck. Like you always play Ziggs Taliyah, you always play Rock Hoppers and Chemists. Then you think about all the other cards which are played, which are not played, and think about when you play the game, you will do that. Would this card be more useful in this situation than the other card I could be playing, or is it less useful? Okay, we will start with a game from Khadgar here with their list and just see how it goes. Okay, we're going in here for the first match versus Pirate Aggro, it seems like. First thing you should notice here is that there's a Twisted Fate. It's a little bit big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There's a Twisted Fate here. What does that mean? It means it isn't a full-on aggressive list. It is more of a mid-rangey, slow burn style list. So it doesn't always go 1, 2, 3, 4. It can go 1, 2, 3, 4, but it has a little bit more expensive cards as well. So it has like a Dread Wave, for example. Oftentimes this is a little bit of an off-meta list, but this is not all in. I rush you down. Like Spider Aggro, for example, is a little bit slower. So you can actually have a little bit more time to it. Some lists don't even run Decimate, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's a little bit of a weird deck to face. It's just not super all-in aggro. Of course, the curve they had was pretty all-in.
Yeah, this was the first time I played against this deck, so I had no idea what to expect.
Okay. And yeah, Khadgar, tell us what you think during these lines, during Mulligan, etc.
Oh, yeah, this will be a very hard matchup. I think I will need units because this will be an aggressive deck. I think this is nice. I will drop the Absolver because it won't help me a lot yet. Quicksand, no, I don't think I need it, I think I should focus more on units for the start. So I also need some early units.
It's the most important decision in the game, the Mulligan. And if you had a little bit, you decided to keep the 2 3-drops and Mulligan the other 2 cards. First question, why do we need 2 3-drops?
Actually, I think we don't need them. It's better to mulligan for a better curve. I was just a bit afraid of getting too many spells, so having 2 units already and 2 endless devu. I think this would be it would be helpful for this against this matchup.
Yeah,
so I kept them.
If you think you're facing aggro, you should really look for your 1-drops and 2-drops. In the early game, you have the Rock Hoppers, we have Ziggs, which would be a better blocker. Like Ziggs is a 3-4 instead of a 3-3, so it would be a little bit stronger. And really, you should never really keep both 3-drops here. Like that's against most matchups. Like I can't think of any matchup where you really want 2 3-drops. We are a mid-range deck. We want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Taliyah 5, and then kill them. You don't really need 2 3-drops ever because we really want an aggressive deck, early game curve. And that was like the first mistake, I would say. And yeah, like the Mulligan of Quicksand, like the Mulligan of Absolver, those are like more of a late game cards. But really, like we saw in our starting hand, if you go ahead a little bit, starting hand didn't have any play like from 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. And if we got rid of our 3-drop, then we might have had another chance to hit one already. So in general, if you play like mid-range decks like this one, you want 1, 2, 3, 4 and don't need excessive ones.
Yeah, okay. Weird hand. Yeah, this was expected. This. Let's hope he plays Misfortune next round, so she's vulnerable. Let's see. No, okay. I don't attack. a lot.
This one where you play the Endless Devout, and then they play some random guy. And here you said you don't want to attack. What was the reasoning for that?
I was thinking about that he could play, because it was next round he would have the attack token, and I was thinking maybe he plays something stronger or something more important to block. So I will keep the opportunity to choose what I block, and not that I kill now a unit like the 3/3, and the next round he plays something stronger and I have no blocker.
Okay, but he will have 4 mana next turn. Like, I don't know if you know all the cards yet, but what can he play that's more threatening for 4 mana is the question. And
A cheated 4 mana She Who Wanders. No, no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like this deck plays TF as a 4-drop. It's a 2/2. So yeah, it could block this, but it would just stun you. And then the deck plays the Seps Brayfin, which is elusive 2/2. You can't block. And yeah, there is just nothing else. And most important part is we have a Rite of Arcane in our hand. And this will be very important. If we attack in here, we get our landmark. And this landmark has a countdown 3 and would go down 1 already to 2. But more importantly, we could use our spell proactively on our landmark if they develop something scary to just kill it immediately and have a 5/3 blocker. So, and next point is it's a race. We have to, like, they have to do something. We have to use our resources. We have to get this landmark going as fast as possible. So I think this not attacking was one of the bigger mistakes here, like just sitting back and fearing cards that don't exist. Like they don't play the Noxus Allegiance guy 4 mana 5/4 Overwhelm. Even if they do that, we can still Rite of Negation kill it. Yeah. But this is probably sense. Just not knowing what the deck does exactly. That's fine. But this was like you should always try to kill your Endless Devout as soon as possible. That's what I know about this deck. Always get it off the board, get the landmark, because landmark is so strong.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
I could play this one, so I would have a landmark to kill Misfortune, but I wouldn't be able to kill the attackers, so I think I will take. I can try to kill her next round.
See that immediately when we go on to the next one. Here, Misfortune comes out. So over here. Imagine you have the landmark here. This guy is dead. We go blow up our landmark, kill Misfortune. And then our 5/3 blocks this guy. We take only 5 damage. Instead of the 9, we would take here. Like if you go on with this game, we take 9 damage here. And otherwise, we would just, if correct play, take 5 damage. That's like a whole decimate of difference.
Yeah.
And this is like how these small things really add up over time.
What could he have to keep her alive? That's good to say.
And yeah, the data scary thing. What also was surprising to me was then you said you want to have this to block better stuff. And if you go ahead a little bit, then you think about blocking Misfortune, but you decide to go ahead a little bit more. Decide to block a random 1-drop instead. Do you have a reason for that, or?
Yeah, as I said, I wasn't sure what cards this deck is running. I mean, he couldn't play a lot with one
Yeah.
with 1 mana. But I don't know every card at the moment, so I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he has something to keep her alive. So I decided to go for another unit and kill Misfortune then with my spell.
Okay. Yeah, like these two units are probably like not necessarily the worst blocks you can make here, but close to the worst blocks. I would say, like, I don't want to flame you or anything, but like
That's fine.
the one mana for Bilgewater can have like slow spells. Bilgewater in general, you can just say they don't have combat tricks, they don't have anything in combat. If you see Bilgewater, no, they technically have like some kind of spells, but most Bilgewater decks don't have anything in combat. Maybe Make It Rain, but you can just discard them. And Noxus only has +3/+0. Generally, you can remember Noxus doesn't have any health buffs, except for 3 mana, and nobody plays that. Noxus only buffs the attack. Bilgewater doesn't have any combat tricks in general. So the only thing they could do would be +3/+0, but nobody plays that card either, so it would be safe to assume they have nothing. But let's think about the units we want to block here. This is a vulnerable guy. We have a 6 in our hand. We can just play 6 next turn and kill this guy with our attack token. Because otherwise, if we attack with 6, we just take the hit, and for damage doesn't matter. Why would we want to kill the vulnerable guy here? And next point is a little bit trickier, but they have a GP in their deck. And GP wants to deal damage in different rounds. So it's generally better to kill this guy when they attack us, because they already get the GP trigger this way. Like the GP, right now they already get the trigger, and yeah. So I would have blocked in this situation. I would have just gone over here, block this one, get this 1 damage out of the way, block this one, because we don't have any silences. We don't have any way to like obliterate this, for example. So we just have to take this damage at some point, and then we can go 6 next turn, kill this guy, and we still take a lot of damage here. If we had our other way, like right now we take 1, 2. I think we take the same amount of damage in total, like 1 more probably with this guy. But at least we get our 6 down, our 3 hook, and then if they have no burn in hand, then it's probably good to go.
Little bones are just as good as big ones.
Let's play this one.
What does that thing do? It explodes, of course. Go ahead, light the fuse.
Okay.
I got an idea. Throw him away! Death doesn't scare me.
Let's hope he doesn't have a decimate. I'm dead.
Let's do this.
Quicksand would be nice. I don't have it.
Quicksand would be nice.
Yeah.
If it was important, they should have built it better.
But I think that's it. Yes. Aggro decks are really hard against.
But I think at this point it was pretty much lost. We still go for the the destruction here and stuff, but it's just a little bit too slow. I think they just go for the double Noxian Fervor. By the way, they have just that Spray Fin and they just search for the Noxian Fervor here. Some decks play like one of Brother Spawn, some decks play like one of Make It Rain, but most of the time you just search for Noxian Fervor, and this is the reason why you don't play any other spells in this type of deck. So you always want to find the 3 damage burn.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit of like a weird matchup, but yeah, some things you could have improved on. And I noticed in general you play very fast. That was something I noticed. We were a little bit nervous, but you could you have 1 minute, 45 seconds for each turn. You can take your time and think those blocks out. Think which unit is more valuable to block. Maybe just slow it down a little bit in general would be my first advice here. Okay. Let's play another game. Oh, do we have any questions for this game?
No, really. I'm just embarrassed.
No, it's not embarrassing. It's very, very useful, I hope. And
Yeah.
you're doing fine. Great. Let's move on to the next game.